Oh, hello there. Well, today it's Saturday the 17th and it is cold in my garage. It's about 4.4 degrees. Right, anyway, I'm not going to stay here long, but a few things I've been doing which I could do indoors was I've added some more lighting features to my train. I've added lighting to a class old Hornby. No, is it? Yeah. Let's get this. It's a class 50, which and a class 47. Now one of them's a Lima and one of them's a Hornby. I can't remember what one now. So I've put full headlights and cab lighting in those, and I've also added, show you this, in a minute, I'll show you it in a minute. This is a Pullman, and I've added lights to the table lamps in these. And later on I'll show you how I did that. But in the meantime, let's have a little look at it. I'll move my camera. Right, so here we are. This is what I've done. Now I believe this to be a railroad Pullman, Hornby Pullman. And you can see the lighting in there I've added to the table lamps. Now it shows up better in this one than the newer one, than the older model. This is an old model Pullman, and the table lamps in that were metal, so the lights don't reflect through the metal like they do the plastic. Although it still looks all right, acceptable like a table lamp, they look better, in my opinion anyway, through that one, because they reflect through the plastic better. Anyways, I've done 2 carriages so far, more experimental than anything. I've got one more carriage to do, which means I've got to, this one, I've got to order even more little LEDs for that. This carriage here again is a railroad. Was my first effort was just to I just put a light, I put it in the ceiling, normal strip LED in the ceiling, and that looks quite good. I'm not sure yet whether I'll just do that to this coach here or not. But I've also added a flashing end of train lamp on that as well. And then on top of that, I added an end of train lamp to a guard's van. Hang on, let's get round here. Whoops, daisy. I'll have to move it. Little guard's fan there. Needs a little bit of... you can see, right, so when it's going it's alright. Just when it stops still it inclines to stop. Right, then I've also added lighting to 2 old I think one's Hornby and one's a Hornby and one's a Lima. I can't remember what one's was now. I think the class 50. I'll show you. I've added. Let's get that up. There we are. That's the class 50. Got lighting on that, and I've also got a cab light, and on it I can make it so it can have red lights at the back when it's going forward. But if I'm towing goods train or any other carriages, I can turn the rear lights off and I've done that on both of these. Now the other one is this one, so that's lighting again on that, and also a cab light on that. So I've been busy adding lights. That's the main thing I've been doing. But I could take them indoors and do them in the lounge. My wife don't like me doing the soldering in there. I'll get away with it. So that's it. I've been pretty busy doing them lights. So I'll just set this. I'll set the Pullman going round. With the lights going. Right. There we go. Pullman going. As I say, I'll leave the video there, but I'll show you how I fitted those little lights to the table lamps in there, how I went about that. Okay, so that's all for now. Thank you. Well, this is how we fit the lighting in the Pullman. Old Hornby Pullman. So when you take the top off, this comes off separate. And what we're going to do is fit to all these little lights, a little LED to each of those little lights. And I'm going to, my gubbins is going in this end here. So what I've got is a stay alive and the bridge rectifier, this little bridge rectifier. See if I can show you that. Little tiny bridge rectifier that goes, so the DCC will come in one side and the DC will go out the other side, and then that will power putting 10 little LEDs round on each of those lamps. Now they're tiny little LEDs. You can hardly see them. You can hardly see them. It's like like a bit of silk, that the wires, very delicate. But what we've done, I had to change the wheels on this to metal wheels. And I fitted one of these DCC wiper blade, DCC wiper blade there, wired it through there, and that will come up into this space, and then the other wires will go along down through all of those. So the first thing we've got to do is wire this little circuit up before I stick it down, so we'll get on with that first. Right, so I've wired that up to there, connected it to it goes through to the wheels, and what I'm going to do is stick that there with a bit of double-sided tape. So take that off, and that should come up well within that space there. Right, so that's all right. Now we can push that down, make it turn here. Oh, I broke the bloody wire now. Right, so there we are. So that's 2 wires coming through there, and that should fit just nicely in there. Right. So now we've got to wire these lights up. And what I'll do there is I've got this gold tape. And what I'll do, as each light comes through, I have one strip of this gold tape for the positive, one strip for the negative. So I wire each LED to this strip. First of all, I'm going to cut this down so it's don't want it all that wide, just cut it that wide. You can solder directly on this. You get a nice big blob of solder. As if you try and solder these little LED wires together, they just keep breaking, they're too delicate, but you can easily solder them. You can easily solder them to this strip. And what I do, this is a double-sided, but I leave the paper on, so it acts as a bit of an insulation to stop any shorts from when I pass one wire underneath to go to the other side. Right. So what we do now, peel that back a bit to there, and stick it to the inside there. Lay it down right the way along there, and stick it down the other end. You can make a start on that. Just cut a little bit off. Obviously you've got to miss these things here because they've clipping little places on the chassis. You've got to miss them, right? Tuck that down there, that holds it in place. Same with the other one. The reason for doing it like this is the wires on these LEDs are so fine, and if you start trying to solder them together, then they're so fine and delicate, every time you try and put this top back on and take it off again, you damage them, easily damage the wires. So like this, be much easier. Right. Now then, what we do now, take a tiny drill, a 1mm drill bit, and I drill through behind each lamp, a hole, 1mm hole behind each lamp. Right, I'll come back when I've done them all. Right, so I've drilled all those holes. These are the tiny little lights. Right, and what I do, thread all the wire through them holes And then I glue this little LED, I wind it around the lamp and then glue the top of it just behind the top of the lamp. I'll glue it just behind the top of that lamp. Right. So you thread all these wires first through the holes. It's like threading a needle, but so it's finer than cotton. It is through, but it's catching up on something. Get right there. You can't feel it if you've got hold of them. You don't want to pull it through too far, because when you pull the light bulb right through. Right, a couple of turns around there. Give it a pull down so it comes up tight. And then you want to glue it. And just double super glue on that. And this actually acts like just a little dot, and that actually acts like a reflector, that super glue when it's dry. And it looks like it glows through the top of the glue. So I have to leave that now to dry. So that's the wrong way round. So we put the positive wire on there. Don't know if you can see that, can you? Does that show? I can't see. Right. Right, there we are. Now I've got to do all the rest. Right, so what I've done, I've put the positive wire, I've threaded it underneath this strip and soldered it to that side. Right, and when it's right, I'll cut the excess off. And this one is the negative. I'm going to solder that to there. But you first of all, you have to scrape a little bit of the. Try and scrape a little bit of the insulation off. It's only like a. You have to be careful. Don't go too hard. Just cut right through the bloody thing. Soon right now then. Take a bit of solder. Put a blob there where you want to solder it. leaving the paper on it, I think, gives it just enough to stop you burning the plastic underneath it. It just gives you... Alright, now, and we test that. Right, so here we are then. I've finished wiring them all up. This is the... I've covered the top of it in a bit of sellotape so that any of these little joints won't short out on this weight here, for one thing, and plus it'll stop that such tiny little hair-like wires keep taking it to bits, it could damage. So basically a bit of sellotape over it insulates it and protects it. So you got your two bits of what they call it, copper tape down each side. One's positive, one negative. So all the positive leads are soldered to one side and all the negative leads from the LEDs onto the other side. And then the power then comes from there into this little unit I've made here, which is a little capacitor, small capacitor. That's to stop the flicker. I've got a rectifier there which changes it from AC, DCC to DC, and then that's your little resistor. You can adjust the size of that for the brightness of your LEDs. So that is it now. All we've got to do is assemble it, and then we'll have a look at it on the track. One thing I will say about this particular one is an older model. Now this older model had plastic wheels, so I had to put some metal wheels on it as well. But see these little lamps on here, they're like metal, whereas on the earlier ones they're plastic, and the plastic gives a better reflection of the LED through it, making it look a bit more realistic, I think. These are metal, so the LED will only light up either next to it or behind it, but it still looks alright. Alright, so set for now. There we are with all the passengers in. Alright, so it's round ready for the top to go on and then test it on the track. Alright, now there is the finished on the track. Now that is the older model with the plastic wheels, which I had to put metal wheels on. The newer ones, which are only Velcro but had metal wheels, it's these. Now you notice the lights, because they got plastic table lamps, they seem to reflect the light better through the plastic. Whereas the older one has got these metal, it doesn't reflect the light through the plastic, and you can only see the actual light. But anyway, I think that looks quite effective. So just see that going around the track. This carriage I haven't done anything with yet. This one has just got lights in the ceiling. No. You can see the difference. I think that is quite effective. Well, that's about it for this this video, I think. But I have ordered a new a Cura scale, class 92, I think it is, class 92 from a Cura scale, 92036, Bert Brecht, with sound, and it looks very nice, and you can adjust the, I'll show you a picture of it, hang on. That's it there. So you can adjust these from your DCC. Have them come up and down, and it's got lighting, it's got everything on it. So that'll be my next video, I suppose. Having a look at that. But till it comes in the post, whether I'll get it before Christmas, I don't know. But there we are. So that's it. So bye for now. Hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And a Merry Christmas to you all from Roy.